Hi, my name is Joe DioGuardi. I'm a former U.S. Congressman. I was elected in 1985 to the House of Representatives in a year that Jim Traficant was elected. I'm sorry I can't be with you there today with Tish and his family. I remember when we were elected in 1985, I didn't know Jim Traficant. We met at a meeting of the Italian-American Caucus of Congressmen that was sponsored by the National Italian-American Foundation, very nice Italian restaurant in Washington. And I was sitting next to Jim Traficant, introduced myself, and by the end of that dinner and a couple of glasses of wine, we really liked each other. Well, you know, he knew I was Italian. My parents were born in Italy. But what he didn't know is that my father, who came here in 1929, came here speaking two languages, and one wasn't English, Albanian and Italian. Why? Because 500 years ago, when the Ottoman Turks overran Albania, after they stood against the biggest army in the world for 25 years, saving Europe today, I believe, from Islam. But once they were overran, when the great general, Albanian general George Castriati died, they ran into Italy, what was then the Kingdom of Naples, southern Italy. Well, today there are 51 Albanian-speaking villages in Italy, mainly in Calabria, 4 in Sicily. Well, when Albanians found out that my family spoke Albanian as well as Italian, even though I was raised in an Italian-American neighborhood in the Bronx, they went crazy lobbying me. And then I needed help, and I got help from Jim Traficant. I could go on and on telling you how we worked together, but he did come with me to Albania. I never forget when he faced off with the communists, as only he could do. They had just come out of communism, and there was a thought that maybe in a new election they might go back. He would say, better dead than red. And that became kind of a mantra for many Albanians. That was back, I think, in the 90s. Well, you know, I dug deep into my archives, and I found 2 instances that show you the style of Jim Traficant. One is a 1-minute, and I know you know he was famous for his 1-minute statements, where he ends it by calling this New Age Hitler, Milosevic, who we were trying back then to indict in the Congress and get him to The Hague. He calls him a bum. You know, Jim was good with his words. He was direct. He thought straight, and he talked straight. My kind of person. And then I found another one whereby he was then, you know, on the House floor as a bill was being passed, but he got up and he said, you know, we need to do something else for these ethnic Albanians. They need independence. Well, all I can say is thank you to Jim Traficant. He was a good friend. I thought he was a great congressman, certainly for his constituents in Youngstown, Ohio. You know what he did to bring back the money that was needed to do a lot of things. I don't know that part of it because I was not privy to what he did for his constituents, but I know he had a lot of support there. Sorry I can't be with you today, but I wanted you to know that Jim will always be someone I remember, pray for. I'm sorry that I didn't see him before he passed on, but you know, in life, we all graduate. I say graduate, we know we graduate from school, but ultimately, we all are going to graduate to a new plane when we all pass on, a divine plane, okay? He has now graduated, and we will join him sooner or later. We all go to the same place. But in the meantime, I wanted you to know how much I enjoyed Jim Traficant, how much I appreciated his help for the Albanian people who were suffering under the boot of a kind of Nazi leader. His name was Slobodan Milosevic, who killed so many people in Bosnia. Jim helped me and my wife Shirley stop Milosevic from doing what he did in Bosnia in Kosovo. So again, thank you, Jim. Sorry I couldn't be with your family today, and to all of his friends and family who were present, I'm so happy I found the time to do at least this short tribute to my good friend, Jim Traficant.
Mr. Speaker, when Serbian President Milosevic promised to work with Albanian leaders in Kosovo, the White House lifted sanctions on Serbia. Milosevic then proceeded to slaughter thousands of ethnic Albanians, many of them helpless women and children. Milosevic is a liar. Milosevic is a brutal killer. And ethnic cleansing has reared its ugly head once again. Milosevic must be challenged. The United States should reimpose strict sanctions on Serbia, and it's time for Europe to stop cuddling this bum. I believe Milosevic must be made to understand that Albanian children are God's children too. Ethnic Albanians want independence, and they are crying out for freedom all over this world. I believe our administration is trying to keep the lid on, in all fairness. But I believe you can coddle this guy Milosevic a little too much, and I think it's time to get stern with this man. I would just like to recommend to the chairman and distinguished leaders of this committee to look at the matter of independence. I believe there is no other answer, because ethnic Albanians will not accept anything else, and I believe if there's to be a tempest in this teapot, we should deal with it now.